Hello, listeners, and welcome to Geeks by Gaslight Podcast, the show you need to listen to for your monthly insight into the many wide world of geek culture. I'm your host, Carroll, and I've got a pretty good show for you this month. As always, this is sort of a reunion episode from back in episode 2. Remember the one that was 2 fucking hours? Jesus Christ. First of all, we have the writer of Comic Critical, Jré Best.
Hey. Glad to be back.
Yeah.
I'm always here.
He is here. You've been on the show a lot, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to try to get some more guests in. Also, we have a very special guest, the Weed Master himself.
The Weed Master? That's me. I've done weed exactly once.
You're really gonna admit that, bro? What if the police come? If you're on...
fuck. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
I can't go back.
I mean, they're like, hey, have you smoked weed? And you're like, no. They'll just check GBG episode 5, 4, whichever one this is, and it'll be like, ha, he lied under oath. Prison.
Oh, I can't go back. Wait, what oath?
I'm sorry, I forgot to give you the backstory. You're like, you under trial and under oath.
Alright.
Or maybe I lied on GBG. We don't do an oath for GBG.
Well,
you didn't see that? That was in the ad code or whatever. There was like a.
You didn't notice when we took your blood?
Me.
Whoa.
Okay, moving into trailers. For this last month, it's been a pretty exciting month for trailers. Just kidding. Most of them have been bad. First of all, let's talk about the final trailer. We've talked about the first two. The final trailer for Dragon Ball Super Broly is out. And it's really, 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 really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks cool.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, it looks kind of like, the standard Dragon Ball movie where here it's kind of going to be like, set up backstory and then like a half an hour fight for like the rest of the movie. But it looks like it's going to be a really well done like version of that like standard formula.
Yeah. What I like about this trailer is that the first trailer was sort of focused on like a little bit of setup and like a tiny bit of action. The second trailer was like pretty much all backstory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like focusing on this is who Broly is, and this is like we're gonna do Dragon Ball minus, but not really, and sort of like really because like they're really hammering home the history between Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, which I like that angle. And then this trailer is all action. You see Super Saiyan God Vegeta, which is fucking cool. And anyone who doesn't think that's fucking cool is wrong, because it's really fucking cool, because we haven't gotten that outside the manga yet. And like, I know it's sort of a meme that Vegeta skips forms, like he skipped 3. He skipped 2 forms to go right to blue, but showing that he has access to God is really cool.
He did not skip forms. If you ever played Dragon Ball Raging Blast, they gave him Super Saiyan 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And that game was my shit. So, don't fucking say my nostalgia don't matter, bro. Come on. Raging Blast for life.
One thing in the trailer I was thinking about was because you have the dialogue in the trailer. You know how trailers be. They show footage and with dialogue that may or may not actually be related to like the scene you're seeing.
Right.
And there's 2 bits of dialogue I thought was interesting. There's a line where Goku says, I actually have it up right here. Goku says, "You ain't a bad guy, I can tell." Which I think I'm not, it's hard to say for sure, but I'm pretty sure he's talking to Broly there.
Yeah. And
then there's another line where that like green girl says he isn't fighting because he wants to fight. Which is interesting, because if both of those lines are referring to Broly, then that's very indicative of a very different sort of Broly.
Well, that's sort of like the thing that a lot of people didn't understand about his character, is that he's sort of tragic in a way. He sort of couldn't really help. Like he was being in Broly 1. Let's not talk about Broly 2 and 3, please. But in Broly 1, the good one, he's being sort of like mind controlled by his father. and then it's sort of his power builds up and sort of takes over his mind. It's sort of interesting, and I like that they're really exploring that. Though, is that I feel like sort of throughout the course of the movie, Broly's going to discover that he likes fighting for the sake of fighting. He doesn't like fighting for the sake of being evil and Kakarot, you know?
Yeah. What if Broly turned good?
Oh, God, shut up, Masako.
That would be very, like, I feel like it's somewhat possible.
I mean, I'm sort of game.
I mean, like, it's a different Broly, so, like, it could be.
No, very
as
well
long as it works, I don't care.
Yeah, as long as it's, like, good and, like, they
It'd be like interesting to keep him as, like, a persistent villain in Super, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they don't kill him off right away.
Yeah. That's what I really like about.
I mean, like, they're keeping around, like, they're keeping Frieza for a bit. I assume they might. Frieza might be killed off in this movie.
Oh, I hope not.
I kind of hope so, honestly.
I don't know. Like, I think it's really interesting to have like more like recurring villains.
I don't think they're keeping the legendary Super Saiyan angle where he's like the prophesized one. But if they are doing that, I think it's really cool to have Broly fight Frieza, because then he's fulfilling the prophecy in a weird, like, twisted way that he thought that Goku was supposed to fulfill. You know, it's like, being the legendary Super Saiyan that was supposed to rise up and defeat Frieza.
Yeah,
that could be cool. And also like the history.
Saiyans rise up.
Yeah, hashtag Saiyans rise up. But yeah, I love the animation. It's fucking gorgeous. Naoki Tate. There's like a brief scene in the trailer where with famous, or I guess like very, very well respected animator Naoki Tate, and he's very, very known for his sort of like, he uses a lot of smears, and his like action is very his action is very like flowy, and like there's like a bit when where you can sort of see how when Goku's punching him, like there's like a little bit where like Broly ducks and his head like goes into his shoulder, and it's great. It just looks very it's just very animation. It's sort of like an animation fan's like wet dream, and it's really good. Also the two sort of shots right at the end of the trailer that I want to talk about are the image of Goku and Vegeta doing the back-to-back Kamehameha and Gallic Gun, which, can we talk about like the symbolism of that for a bit? Because of, those two characters and how, the Kamehameha and the Gallic Gun, like the beam struggle from the Saiyan Saga. And like, now they're so close, they're using those moves together. I think that's a very powerful image for longtime fans of those characters. Yeah. And I'm really glad that they're focusing on Goku and Vegeta together. And I think it's very heavily implied, if not confirmed, that we will be getting Gogeta in this movie.
Oh, that's cool. I've always liked Gogeta more than Vegito.
Oh, I like Vegito way more. Vegito is my boy. Vegito is my boy. But like, if we get Gogeta, interesting. I don't want blue Gogeta. I want Ultra Instinct Master Gogeta. Because the white hair is gonna look so much better than the blue hair on Gogeta.
That's such a sentence. Dude,
come on. Like, here's the thing. Super Saiyan Blue looks good on one character, and that's Vegito, because he wears blue. Because he wears like the blue gi, and it looks fucking dope. But Gogeta has those white pants, and I think they would look really good with the white hair.
I don't know. I don't like how the blue looks on Vegito. Mainly, it's just because the blue, the different shades of blue pisses me off.
No, the blue Vegeta looks fucking great. But anyway, that's like the Gallic Gun is the first image. But the second image that I really want to talk about is the final shot of the trailer, where it's just like, God damn, does Broly look good? Like that art.
This new Broly in like kind of the iconic like old Broly pose.
Yeah, because that's like the scene from a rip from the scene from Broly 1 when he first powered up into that form, and it looks so good. Like the aura effects look great. Broly looks great. this movie's going to be really, really good. From an animation perspective, it's going to be the best thing I think Dragon Ball's ever done. If definitely the best thing Dragon Ball's ever done in like the last 15 years. Possibly one of those just best Dragon Ball things ever. But that's enough of that. Moving on to we're getting a re-release of Deadpool. Deadpool 2. Not in the way that you would think. Once Upon a Deadpool is a movie where Deadpool recounts the great adventure he went through in Deadpool 2, which I have actually not seen. So,
okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen Deadpool 2. I might go see this.
Spoilers.
Yeah. You can. If we can talk about it and like the things that you were excited to change because I don't really care. And then but like that's the thing is that this isn't just like Deadpool 2 re-release. They recut it to be PG-13.
Yep.
Which is gonna be so good here. I don't really know how you do that to Deadpool 2.
Okay, so like what are the big things that they have to change?
There's kind of a big like one of the more important like plot moments in Deadpool 2 involves him getting ripped viscerally in half.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And you just see all of it. And I don't like you can cut away from it, but kind of like the aftermath of him like being ripped apart is kind of like it's not super like even like it is important and there's kind of it's a pretty like big chunk of like the final part of the movie.
Yeah.
Where he's just like half of himself. So I don't really like know how you get around that.
Does he get ripped down the middle or like at the waist?
At the waist.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I just feel like in general, the only really like way to make PG-13 Deadpool work is if that's like the joke.
Yeah.
Which is clearly what they're going for based on the trailer. But
I'm really excited for this.
I like the joke in that trailer where it's like you're Marvel, and then he's like, no, it's Marvel. That's like it doesn't count. And it's especially because Fox Marvel is close to becoming Marvel.
Yeah. This is. I guess this isn't going to be the last Fox Marvel movie before they officially are one.
Not yet. We're gonna get Dark Phoenix in there.
Yeah. I'm so glad we didn't. We never talked about that.
And we never will.
Good. Yeah, I'm excited. This looks like it's gonna be real fun. Is it coming out this December? Yeah,
it's like a Christmas thing. Yeah, it's a Christmas movie.
That's silly as fuck, and I'm real hyped.
Oh come on, Deadpool Christmas movie. That's a great idea.
It is. It is.
Hey, our guy in red.
Santa Claus.
Santa Pool.
Santa Pool.
So,
and speaking of Ryan Reynolds.
Oh God!
Fuck!
That's very, very good. Very good. I appreciate you. Speaking of Ryan Reynolds, they made another Pokemon movie.
They're making one.
They're making a Pokemon movie, a live action Pokemon movie.
It's going to be so epic.
And it's going to be, here's the thing, it will be epic. It will be extremely epic. Let me just say, I don't have a problem with anyway, it's Detective Pikachu. The Detective Pikachu games aren't that good.
Is there more than one game?
Yeah, I think there's more than one. Anyway, have you seen that interview with Max Landis?
Yes.
Where he talks about how he pitched a Pokemon movie to Netflix and the Pokemon company, and they were all for it. Everyone was into the idea until the Pokemon company dragged their feet, and they're like, "Hey, you know how we were, you know how we were gonna make you're gonna make a really good Pokemon movie where it's gonna be really sweet, and it was just about like Red, like a little boy named Red who like finds a coffin in the woods and goes on an adventure. They're like, we don't want that. We want you to write Detective Pikachu.
and then he didn't.
He didn't, because fuck that. And they got someone else. I just don't know. I feel like that's the most Pokemon Company thing I've ever heard. Like turning down an amazing script from a really talented writer to do the dumbest thing possible.
It's like I've made peace with the fact that we're not getting that movie and that we're getting Detective Pikachu. I've watched this trailer so many times.
Yeah.
And for the life of me, I still don't really think I have like a solid opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much know my opinion.
Like listen, I think the fact that I don't really have much of an issue with how the Pokemon look.
I have a big issue with how the Pokemon look, so I want to hear you.
Like yes, they look
Painfully fake.
Like, yes, they always were. I wasn't really expecting them to look real. But they do look like fun monster designs. They capture the designs well. Hell. But it's still like there's such this like uncanny valley. I feel like as someone who's grown up with Pokemon for his whole life, that I'm probably never going to get used to how these Pokemon look in this movie.
Yeah.
And I've resigned myself to that, but I can acknowledge that they're like well designed for the movie.
Okay, here's what I think about this. About the way the Pokemon look. Also, just like side note, the kid that they got playing like the main kid, Justice Smith, in this movie, he's fucking great. Like, he's a really good actor. He like seeing him in things. But yeah, this movie. Yeah, the thing about the creature designs is that I didn't want them to be super faithful, you know? Like, I know that's a weird thing to say as a Pokemon fan, but like I kind of wish they looked more like animals and monsters, and like
I mean, I feel like that's what they were going for.
It's really not. They're really going sticking to the designs of the original Pokemon. Like,
are they?
Yeah.
I feel like complete opposite.
Like I'm gonna okay, you know what? In the video, right? I'm gonna throw up a picture of Jigglypuff and compare Jigglypuff to the design, the real Jigglypuff, and then the design to Jigglypuff in the games. Or yeah, the one in the movie in the game.
Are you just talking about the designs, like aside from like the like textures and stuff, like the?
It just they went way too. I feel like they instead of trying to make these things look real, they tried to make them look like they looked in the games. And
yeah, I just don't agree with that.
I wish they had gone the other way.
Because I feel like, I mean, like, just Pikachu, like, being all, like, fuzzy looking is, like, not how Pikachu is ever really, like,
no, but it's like, he doesn't look. Here's the thing, Pikachu does not look. And, like.
Doesn't what?
He looks like a Pikachu. He doesn't look like a mouse.
Yeah.
Well, right.
I kind of wish he looked more mouse-like. I wish Psyduck looked more, like an actual duck.
Yeah, so you mean like the designs of like just the actual look, aside from like the fact that he looks fuzzy and whatnot.
Well, yeah,
but just
aside from like the texture. Like if you see like the picture of like Venusaur, it looks like big, terrible CGI Venusaur and not plant dinosaur.
I feel like if they made Pikachu look more like a mouse, I wouldn't recognize him as Pikachu anymore.
But that's fine. That's fine.
I don't know. I think Detective Pikachu, where Pikachu doesn't look like Pikachu, Is
Okay,
it Detective
maybe they
Pikachu?
can keep Pikachu like the normal way, but you know, if there's like here's the thing. They released an image of what Snubble looks like in the game or in the movie. And Snubble looks really accurate, like to a T, like the thing, but he doesn't look like a dog. And like, can you go a little more in that direction? I think they should have. I think they should have tried to make them look a bit more real world. Just to buy into the world that this is not, oh hey, it's all of these actors standing next to these CGI creatures, you know?
Yeah, I see what you're going for now.
I don't really think. To me, I think it's more important to capture those designs. Just speaking as like think about it from like a business standpoint. Why not make them look like how everyone recognizes them? You have so many Pokemon are so like.
No, you can still make them. Of course, you'd be able to recognize them. Like you're not just going to make them look totally unrealistic. But it's good to. I feel like it's might be better to imply more than like if like basically like okay, you can clearly tell that this is a. Well, like for example, look at the. I'm trying to think of another example. Like look at the Transformers movies. That's a bad example of those movies because those movies aren't very good. But if you see Optimus Prime in the from the 80s cartoon, and you look at Optimus Prime from the first movie, like the 2008 movie, I think it was 2007, yeah. If you stand those designs side to side, you can tell they're the same thing, even though they don't look.
Yeah,
they don't look exactly the same.
The Transformers designs are really unappealing and ugly.
Yes, they are. They are. That's why I said it's a bad example. But you know what I'm saying. Like you can imply that they're the same without them looking like 1-to-1.
Yeah, but I think if you to take that into, I feel like this is more like taking the Transformers example, the new Bumblebee movie that you're seeing where the designs are, they're basically the G1 designs, just kind of slightly modernized and given the same textures. And I think this is the same thing. I don't really think you need to make the Pokemon to look realistic to buy into the world. I mean,
it's gonna look really jarring.
Like, hell, we have the Muppets movies.
I don't feel like it would feel any more jarring to me than it would if you did like make Pikachu look like a mouse. I think that'd feel weirder. I'd be like even more decking out of it almost.
Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's just me. All right. Yeah, Detective Pikachu. I'll probably see it.
I definitely will.
It's not like
there's no way I'm not.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people out there who are like, oh, it's ruining my childhood, and I'm like, just play the game, you fucking pansy.
Like I'm excited about it, sort of regardless of like good or bad, just because I think it looks like a really fun time. I think regardless, I'll have fun watching it, and that's why I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'll see it, and if
the worst thing it could be is boring.
Exactly.
At this point.
Yeah,
like, the worst
I don't think it will be.
Like so, ungodly terrible. But then it's like,
but then you have a terrible movie where Ryan Reynolds is Pikachu, and that's way better than just a terrible movie.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That's the angle I'm looking at.
This movie cannot be bad enough to the point where I'll regret watching it unless it's miserably boring.
And I can't imagine it. Like it could be, but I don't think it will be.
I don't really see how you can do that. But anyway, moving
unless,
on
like just nothing happened.
Moving on beyond trailers. But sticking with Nintendo a little bit. I know we're a bit late on this story, but the final Smash Direct happened before the game is released, and we got Incineroar confirmed. We got
Ken.
We got Ken from Street Fighter
as an Echo Fighter of Ryu.
And we got Piranha Plant.
Speaking of epic things,
if you weren't following the Smash mindset going into this direct, right? You would have heard of something. Then you wouldn't have heard of something called the Grench Leak. Here's the thing. I believed it. I was on Team Real. And then they destroyed me, and I feel kind of dumb now. But
yeah, I initially believed the leak that was going into this, but as I like thought about it more, and I was like, it just seemed like
it's one of the greatest leaks of all time.
Is it?
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of the greatest fake leaks of all time. Because the circumstances around it seem so believable. Because it was like from a printing company that had access to this thing, and also in the back they had like promo material from like a completely different movie, and it's not real. It like has no relation. It's so convoluted and so believable, and it turned out to be fake. I can't even. I can't. It was really good. Whoever the fuck came up with this is a fucking mastermind villain. But anyway, let's talk.
The Grinch.
Yeah, the Grinch. Fuck you. It was Bennett. It was Cumberbatch all along. Mr. Have you heard those songs? When that leak came out, there were great songs about the Grinch stealing Smash Bros. It's really good. Give it a listen if you get the chance. But yeah, let's talk about the direct itself. Other than let's start with Piranha Plant.
So Piranha Plant's going to be. Yeah.
I mean,
Piranha Plant is pretty dab.
I'm dabbing very hard right now.
Oh, you said dab. I thought you said bad.
No, I said dab.
Dab. I agree.
Piranha Plant is one of those things that it's the kind of character I love Smash for putting in.
Yeah.
I remember when I was watching this, I woke up super early for me. I remember Scott was sleeping, so I left our room with our laptop and I went into a common area to watch this direct. And so I was super tired and cold the entire direct. And I remember seeing this and I felt like fucking like delirious.
Yeah.
Watching Piranha Plant, and I was so confused when that trailer starts and everything's like asleep or knocked out, and then fucking really pissed off Mario shows up.
Yeah.
And he someone just fucked his wife. Like,
yeah, Piranha Plant fucked his wife.
Piranha Plant fucked Peach. Confirmed.
Yeah, and then Piranha Plant shows up, and I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Well, because I wasn't sure what was happening at first. Even when like Mario runs up to Piranha Plant, and suddenly starts like moving. I didn't know. Well, like that's even then. My first thought was I was like, oh, I guess there's like a new mode where you can like play as enemies. And then I was like, oh wait, okay, they're actually just adding Piranha Plant. Epic, I guess.
That's such a also like let's pour one out like for the Waluigi fans for a minute.
No, I'm keeping it firmly in my drink. My drink is in my cup.
It's so funny though.
I don't have a drink, but if I did, I wouldn't pour it.
It's so funny.
It is. I will agree. It is. It
is funny.
It's such a good meme. It's really good meme. Sakurai, fucking legend.
I remember I saw like a thing from Sakurai. There was like some interview or something where he said something like, "Oh, I felt like people would be disappointed if there was a fighter from a previous game that didn't get in. So I tried really, really hard to make sure that no one was disappointed. But what I learned is that there's gonna be people like that no matter what you do." And it made me feel real sad.
Basically, Sakurai was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be really disappointed. People are gonna be really disappointed if like some of like also one of the characters from the old game doesn't make it in." But then he realized, so he tried really hard to make sure characters like, oh, then people are gonna be really disappointed that the newcomer they wanted didn't get in. And then he's like, "Fuck this, I give up."
Yeah.
Fuck this, I give up Piranha Plant.
That's And honestly, hey, I would be disappointed if Sakurai try to give everyone what they want, because I feel like the most fun Smash characters are like just people that or like just characters that Sakurai is like, oh, this would be epic to have in.
Like, can I just say something about the trailer?
Like we wouldn't. It wasn't that people asked for Snake.
Yeah. Well, no, it was a favor to Kojima.
Yeah, but nobody would. Yeah. I imagine like I'm so used to Snake being in Smash because I started with Brawl, but like I imagine nobody was asking for Snake just because nobody in their right minds thought there was a chance.
Yeah, but I mean, can I just I was really sad because when I first saw it, I was so sure it was Geno. I was so sure. Because it looked like in the prime time, because it's like all like the Mario characters stunned and they were playing the music. I'm like, oh, this is Geno, but then no.
Yeah.
So but good. Like the other big thing in the trailer was the spirits mode, but more specifically,
forgot about that
story mode, World of Light.
Everyone's dead.
Yeah, they got Thanos killed Smash.
It's not Thanos, it's Sephiroth. He's going to be the last DLC character. I'm telling you. They're going to replay that trailer, and Wandering Angel's going to be playing as like all the universe gets destroyed, and it's going to be the fucking most epic thing. And that's why Cloud isn't there at that big battle. He's in the middle of that light fighting Sephiroth right now.
Donald, Goofy, and Mickey there too?
I would love for them to put Donald Duck, but no one. Donald Duck in Smash, but not or Goofy. Just Donald Duck.
Donald Duck. That's like putting in.
That's like putting in.
I was thinking of like a Dragon Ball character they could put in instead of Goku. That would be equivalent.
Like
Boo or something. I don't know. Chaozu.
Who's that short kid from Super who's like the most powerful thing ever?
Oh, the Omni King?
King of Cosmos or something?
He can't, no, but he would have one move and it would be deleting the game from your computer.
So just as powerful as Piranha Plant.
It would be, his move would be uninstalling Smash from your Switch.
So almost as powerful as Piranha Plant.
That'd be so awesome.
Almost. He's getting there. It's like a close
third.
It's Bayonetta.
God, Smash is out in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Any thoughts on who the DLC characters might be beyond Piranha Plant?
I
still think we got a chance for Geno.
At this point, it's something, I guess. I don't even know.
Yeah, I think Geno's got a shot, but other than that, I really don't
know. I'm assuming whoever. One of the starters or like one of the either it's going to be like a special character, one of the special Pokemon, or one of the starters from.
Well, apparently they said that Nintendo is picking.
I think that's
Sakurai
probably
isn't picking them. It's all picked by Nintendo.
Okay, so yeah, I think that would probably be.
So basically, Nintendo's picking them. So that means we're going to have 8 Fire Emblem characters, guys. We're gonna get
that would be so awesome.
Probably 2.
I think.
2 Fire Emblem characters, a Pokemon.
It'd be cool if if all the rest, or like the other 5, are all from different.
I don't
franchises.
think it will though.
Yeah.
Who else does everyone not want in? Pink Gold Peach. Yeah.
Wow, that's a real.
I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about.
The Mario Kart 8 Pink Gold Peach.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, well, it's a very old reference.
Maybe if they introduce like a new character in Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, the fact that there are 4,
they might get in. I feel like a lot if Nintendo's picking them, they're going to want characters that are like upcoming in like new relevant games. Like I could see like someone from like the new Animal Crossing showing up.
I mean, they already put in Isabelle, so I think that's kind of that. But
Yeah, but someone from Animal Crossing Switch.
All right. Anything else we want to talk about with the Smash Direct, other than everyone fucking dies?
I think Incineroar is a good pick. I enjoyed his
His moveset's
trailer,
gonna
and
be
it seems like his
great.
moveset's gonna be fun.
I love how he does an
Um,
Irish whip for his forward B, and then he could do like a clothesline or a back body
Yeah,
drop.
that's real
It's so
good.
good. Oh, Ken's
a boring pick.
Ken.
But it's
I mean,
fine.
like, no,
I
but
don't
they're like
mind
legitimately.
having-
Remember that moment in when he did like the combo? That's his like ultimate now.
I like the way they revealed him with the punch out stage, so it sort of makes people think it's going to be a punch out character or something, but it's Ken.
But like, who
I'm
could
sure
it
at
be
this
in
point
here?
a lot of people like can see through that.
There's
But
lots of punch out
King
characters.
Hippo. Okay, King Hippo would be great.
What about that really like nice
Dude,
Canadian?
they should
who,
put
like,
in Mike
drinks
Tyson
syrup?
and then his final biting off the other character's ear.
So
and
awesome.
then possibly raping someone. Anyway,
well,
Who-
yes, I
You
very
can't
much
just
can. I very much
anyway
can.
with no transition, bro. We just fucking anywayed into
Anyway,
fucking blank space.
Disney.
plus.
Disney Plus.
Plus what?
Shut up.
Disney Plus. I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. Can we just all agree? Anyway, Disney unveiled their they've been I hate you. Disney has been hyping up their new streaming service for a while now. They haven't been it hasn't been officially announced until, it just got officially announced. But they've been filming that Star Wars series, the live action one that Jon Favreau is working on, The Mandalorian, for that streaming service. But can we all agree that Disney Plus is a bad name?
It's like all right, but I could think of a million better ones.
Same. Because I don't like the Disney calling it Disney something, because also Disney Plus, didn't Google Plus just shut down?
Disney Plus is so non-specific.
Yes, I
I say
think.
Disney Plus, I'm like, well, what is it? And like I guess most streaming services don't exactly have names that tell you that, but it's I don't know. Disney Plus in general just doesn't feel like the name of a streaming service to me.
Even a recent example, DC Universe sounds cool.
I mean, it's kind of
as a streaming
I agree,
service
but it's
name.
it's also kind of confusing because the DC.
The DC Universe, but if you're DC Universe communicates that it is this whole kind of this intended goal to have all to be this kind of big collection of all this DC stuff. While Disney Plus, it's I don't know. It sounds like I'm signing up for a fitness routine. It doesn't sound
I agree.
Fun.
So the name isn't very good, but the content I think is going to be very good, because most of this, if not all of it, is hearsay, except I believe the one that we know for sure is happening. The one thing is this Loki thing we're talking about, because Tom Hiddleston has sort of confirmed it. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
cool. But anyway, so the Disney streaming service is going to have a few series on it, produced by Marvel Studios. One of them is going to be not by Marvel Television, by Marvel Studios, the film division. And it's going to be a Loki series starring Tom Hiddleston, possibly a Scarlet Witch series, and a Captain America, a Bucky and Falcon miniseries. Basically, who's going to be Captain America? And all of them are going to be produced by Kevin Feige.
Which is the important thing. This is basically Marvel TV that like
Oh,
is
I
actually
don't
in
like that,
canon.
but yeah, you're right.
It's a way for us to get like actual character progression and such in the MCU, but without having to like make a whole movie. Because I'm real glad this is happening, because I don't personally, we're going to pick a new Captain America, but I don't really want to see a movie about picking a new Captain America, nor do I want to see it be like some kind of like weird like side plot in like another movie. But giving it its own like, oh, here's 6 episodes where we decide who's the next Captain America is going to be, and they're basically like it's like a short film, but just as a TV show, and it's canon.
That would be dope.
So I think that's
it's super
really
smart.
good.
It's a great way to sell
this
fucking streaming service, because like now I'm buying it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's very smart. And with the interesting note, all of the characters that were mentioned that they're getting solo series all died in Infinity War.
Huh?
So
oh yeah.
What? You mean they're not staying dead?
Oh my god, I can't believe it. Anyway,
I hope, one thing I really want, and I know this is kind of like a far stretch because haven't teased anything about this yet. I really want MCU animation out there, and I think this would be the perfect place to put it. Because, man, I remember when superhero cartoons were good.
Marvel Spider-Man,
and people like put
Guardians
effort into them, and you think with Marvel being owned by Disney, they'd have some really quality like children's animation out there.
They really don't.
And they don't. There's, and it's not like Disney animation, like TV animation is like bad right now. How they have the Star Forces of Evil, they had Gravity Falls for years. Yeah, but just none of those people are working on like anything Marvel related. It's real weird, and it'd be cool to see, take some. You're going to retire a bunch of characters in the next Avengers movie. Get someone who can do a good imitation of their voice, or don't. It doesn't really matter all that much, and put them in a couple like animated movies. Have them guest stars are in another animated show, or hell, they probably even come back for some voice acting work. I guess it's money. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this, and for the Loki. I don't really know what Scarlet Witch series will be about, but for the Loki series. I hope it's a prequel, because there's a specific time that I want them to focus on with him. And that is the time in between the first Thor and the Avengers. After he falls off the Bifrost and gets picked up by Thanos. Now that we know a lot about Thanos and who he is, you can really explore that. And I think they could make it really interesting.
Yeah, there's just so much potential for this, and having just small stories in the MCU. It's something that I've been saying they should do for years. I thought that we'd get this. We all thought that this is what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Netflix stuff was going to be.
And that's what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started off trying to do, but then they stopped because it was futile.
Yeah. And the Netflix shows just kind of never ever coalesced into being integrated with the wider universe. And that seems why Marvel's going to let those series kind of die off.
Oh, yeah. Biggest tragedy.
That sucked, dude.
Hey,
I guess Scientist died too.
I care.
But who cares about that? Moving on. Next subject.
Don't jump in that quickly, because it makes me sad.
Oh.
Yeah, that's also kind of a bad
yeah.
segue.
Yeah. Let's just like
Yeah.
let's not mince words. We lost a great one. Stan Lee passed away at age 95, I think he was. Wow.
So
This is and we just lost Ditko this year too.
we lost Ditko and
Yeah.
Stanley. It's a real shame. All this is it's just there's not a lot's already been said. And I don't feel like anyone's going to be able to capture the amount that we lost with Stan Lee's passing. And it's just it's a shame that with all the everything that was happening to him in his last year of his life, with all the abuse, and he just got out of that. I'm pretty sure a month ago, maybe 2, he finally got a restraining order on the people that were abusing him, and it's just a real shame that he had to his final year was spent being abused.
Gave so much. Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, all this other shit that we really have to credit him for. Iron Man,
Yeah.
Iron Man, Hulk, Cap.
He didn't create Captain America, but
Thor,
his first
Black
work with
Panther.
Marvel was writing for Captain.
He
wrote for Captain America in his first venture with Marvel. Timely at the time.
X-Men.
Did he create the X-Men? Wow, I didn't know that.
He did. Yeah, he created them because he was feeling lazy, and he was tired of writing origin stories and explaining how people got their superpowers. So he was just like, how about there's a race?
I hate seeing people come out suddenly. People do this a lot when someone dies and just come out and oh yeah, actually guys, Stan Lee's racist.
Fuck that.
Is he?
Fuck that. He created Black fucking Panther.
He did it. X-Men.
Yeah, there's so I guess. Do we want to talk about Bill Maher? Good. There's so much listen. Stan Lee was not a saint.
He was a 95-year-old white guy. What the fuck do you think?
He was a businessman and
but he was very.
Yeah. He has stuff that he regrets. He made enemies. But he's also inspired. He's inspired so many people, and he was regretful for actions he's taken against Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, but ultimately it's when his passing it's sad, and we should feel sad about it. Not a perfect man, but who is?
And again, he created Black Panther, so just throwing that out there.
Which did get a movie this year. I'm sure it's easy to forget since it came out in February and it's November.
Yeah, that came out.
That was this year.
It feels like an age ago.
Yeah.
But yeah. If I can quote Samoa Joe, R.I.P. Stan the Man. Yeah, that's about it. Moving on from that sadness, to something a little bit less sad, something a little bit more spicy, something a little bit hotter, something a little bit boiling. Oh my god, it's overflowing and I'm burning up from the inside. Ah! Why do I keep doing this? Oh my god. Yeah, thank you. Guthrie's Hot Takes is coming up next. Guthrie, take it away.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD. It's time for your least favorite segment, the 1 minute and 30 seconds of straight fire from your boy Guthrie. I stopped playing Dance Dance Revolution on my laptop for this, so let's just roll right into the takes, right? Alright, the Monster Hunter movie, the one everyone says is gonna be bad, that's gonna be great, dude. It's everything I've been wanting from Hollywood. You have the Marines fighting dinosaurs. It's gonna be so good. Wendy's is actually bad. Even the McDonald's sundaes are better than Wendy's. And people say McDonald's, their ice cream machines are always broken. I've never been to a McDonald's with a broken ice cream machine. I don't know where these people are, but they're probably being paid to make this up. Probably by freaking Wendy's, or maybe Arby's, which honestly, that's the only accountant they should ban from Twitter, is freaking Arby's. The 90s and early 2000s were actually better for video games than now, alright? I'm gonna end on this hot video game take, but in 2001, Half-Life, the first one, that only came out 3 years ago in 2001. Nowadays, people are really gonna hate me for saying this, but I mean, I'm right here. Nowadays, Half-Life came out 20 years ago, guys. This says a lot about our society. I don't care if people disagree because I'm just right here, alright? Half-Life came out 20 years ago. Thanos was right and Ultron was wrong. No questions. You want something better, you're Wendy's kind of people.
All right, moving on. Time to get onto our favorites. Recommendations. So, Scott, what did you bring for us this month?
I'm bringing a visual novel called 428 Shibuya Scramble. It's really interesting. I chose this one because when I was playing it, I felt like it would be a cool thing to talk about because there's a lot of little things about it that make it interesting just in the premise of it. The first thing, the thing that made it catch my attention is the presentation style because it's a visual novel, but the presentation is completely with real photographs of people.
Wow.
And I caught my attention because I saw it and I'm like, wow, this looks really, really goofy. And it is, and I was super I was just an easily amused child starting this game. I dropped it's $50. I dropped $50 on it.
Fuck.
Because I was like, this looks kind of cool, and also I had heard some legitimately high praises. It's one of the few games to get a perfect score on Famitsu, which is a big deal. Yeah, and it's also was originally a Wii game. It's actually I've sort of a little bit of a cult classic in Japan from what I've heard. It came out on the Wii in 2008, but it only just got localized a couple months ago, back in I think September. By Spike Chunsoft's brand new North American localization branch that they just recently have had, which was actually sort of made, or at least one of I think the guy in charge of the branch or one of the top localization people there said, when we started this branch, I wanted to make it my mission to localize this game.
Wow.
So yeah, but it's really interesting because it has that presentation style. It's very goofy, and because it's also not a visual novel where usually you'd have a given set of sprites and background images that just sort of rotate. This isn't like that. It's not like there's real people sprites, which would also be amusing, but it's each scene just has its own sort of photos. It's basically every scene is just a scene, it's like a movie or a show, but it's a visual novel. But which makes it, I feel for a lot of people who get easily bored with visual novels because of how little how unvaried the visuals can tend to be. I think that's a plus for it. I think it could be potentially easier for some people who can't have trouble getting into visual novels for that reason to get into. But yeah, and I think overall, even though I think the presentation style is really silly and I thought it was hilarious at first, once I got used to it, I was fine with that. And I think I think overall it works really well. Once I got used to it, I could take it seriously fine, and I think it works great. But that's not the only thing that makes it interesting, because there's also probably one of the most unique like choice systems I've ever seen in like a visual novel. There's basically, so the premise is the reason the game is called 428 Shibuya Scramble, as you might be able to guess, it's set in Shibuya. And the premise is there are five protagonists who each have their own story that you experience simultaneously. Not simultaneously in the literal sense, but like you switch between 5 different protagonists who are all very like different people. You've got like a police officer. You've got, well, I guess I don't. Maybe he's a detective, but you got a police officer. You got just this like a former gang leader. You've got a reporter.
I'm seeing a giant cat here.
There is a like a cat mascot, like someone who's just in a cat suit. And there's a lot of different variety. You also got this like I forget what it's even called. He's like a scientist. I forget what it's specifically, but you got all kinds of people, and so what it is, each character has their set of choices, and what can happen is sometimes you can get a bad end without even hitting a choice, or no, that's not the best way to explain it. Basically, your choices in one character's story can affect another character. Like, you can make a choice for a character that turns out fine for them, but then you switch to another character and they hit a bad end because of that choice. Yeah. And so sort of a lot of the sort of gameplay of it is it almost becomes like a puzzle, because you would have to actually think to figure out how to escape these bad ends. And you're going to get bad ends. It's not escapable. It's that's just kind of the nature of it. But that's sort of like the idea is you hit a bad end, and you're like, and you can get a hint and stuff of how to fix it,
What
and you'll go around.
Get a bad end? What if I want to get a good end for everything?
Yeah, there are some bad ends that aren't strictly bad. Like there's one in the early parts. There's ones where just like the story doesn't happen. Like, because one of them in the beginning is just kind of some guy who ends up like just getting sort of involved in everything that happens. But in the beginning, he's just kind of a dude who's just like walking around. So there's a point like he hears like a gunshot, and you can have a choice to be like, oh yeah, a gunshot, that's bad. I should go check out what happened. And then another choice is, oh, they're probably just shooting a movie. And if you pick that, you get a bad end. Or he's just like, yep, beautiful day in Shibuya, and he's like hearing like
on with his life.
And yeah, and he's hearing more gunshots, and he's like, wow, that's a pretty realistic movie they're shooting. Anyways, time to go pick up more trash, because that's like what he's doing. And that's the bad end. It's just it's pretty good, like, all right for him. Like, nothing bad really happened for him, but like,
nothing
didn't happen. Nothing of value occurred.
That's interesting.
But
that's really funny.
there's lots of, after I beat it, I even went back through to get all, there's like, I think like 95 bad ends. And I got all of them. I went back after I beat the game to get them all. It's because I really enjoyed the game a lot, and I wanted to do that.
Tried to get to okay.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Because I was like, oh, I got every bad ending in the game. I'm like,
yeah, I mean, it is something you kind of have to. There's like an achievement for it and stuff.
oh, cool.
I mean, I guess you could. It's sort of like you'd have to get like really lucky to just get them all by accident. Is sort of, because it's like, so like, and a lot of it depends on the order you go through each character's story. But it's very interesting because in the beginning, most of them, the stories seem like very unrelated. Some of them, it's clear kind of early on, like how they're connected, and some of them, it's like a cat mascot in the beginning. All you're doing in like the first, like maybe third of the game, maybe less than a third, but the first portion of the game as the cat mascot is just like selling this like weight loss like drink, this like scam, and that's like kind of what you're doing, and like you still run into like troubles that get in the way of that, but there's nothing that's clearly seems like related. Whereas like from the very start as the detective, you are assigned to a kidnapping case. That's what you're like. The whole very beginning of the game is you're trying to figure out this kidnapping case, and then you go to this cat, and she's like, yeah, just selling like this weight loss juice, and eventually it becomes like relevant. Like maybe not that specifically, but like that character's story will become relevant to everything else, and you'll understand how it all connects. But for a while, it's like unclear some of them, and it's really interesting seeing it all come together. It really makes you feel, because the whole sort of theme of it, it's very sort of significant to the story that it's set in Shibuya, because a lot of it is kind of about like the city of Shibuya and the people that live there. And you can really feel that there's a lot of little side characters that you'll just kind of see in different people's stories, like recurring, and it's very fun. It really gives you the feeling of there's like a lot of people that live there, because there's all these little side characters that you can see from different people's perspectives and stuff of just like ordinary. There's a lot like it just kind of. I think it's very interesting, and I think it really helps sort of build. I don't want to say build the world, because it's not really like building a world. It's just like a city that exists in real life, but like
allegedly.
I mean, I've never been there, so I don't know. But I've played a hell of a lot of games set there. But yeah, I really liked it a lot. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. But I was very fond of it. Cool. It was a really good time. I don't think it ever like bored me, like once really. Which I felt can thoroughly and consistently like I was having a good time.
I'm looking at screenshots of it, and there seems like there's with like how like the text is presented, right?
Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot of points where they'll just kind of like break their font.
And, they will make like text really big sometimes, and just weird. I think it's very funny when they do it.
So, is like would you recommend this as like someone who like doesn't like read like as like a first like starting point?
Yeah, it's usually when people are like, well, what's visual novel to start with? It's kind of a weird question, or not a weird question so much as like a difficult one, because a lot of the common answers are just kind of some of the most popular ones, which aren't necessarily the easiest to get into. But I think it would be, yeah. The only problem is it's kind of on the expensive side for it's like because it's like $50. It's on sale right now actually, and it's only $30.
Yeah, well, it's probably by the time this podcast comes out, I don't know if it's still gonna.
Yeah, it is Black Friday like right now, so like that's but as the time of recording, but
yeah. And we don't know when this is.
People are going to be listening to this on their new phones that they bought today.
Oh, whoa.
People are going to be building machines just so they can listen to the GVG podcast.
I wish, dude.
Yeah, it's very fun. I've gotten a lot of really good reaction images out of it, of just like taking a screenshot of like a random like out of context moment, or just like a weird face a character will make.
Wait, so you said it's used with they use real people, right? So they just like hire actors or.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like they just got some like actors to do it.
But it's screenshots, right?
It's just like images of them, but there's like a lot of them.
Oh, then they might have got like actors or models or something. That's cool.
Yeah, there's enough for like each like shot in each scene.
That's cool, dude.
But I mean, I guess you could say they're not acting, but I mean, at least they'll like act a little acting of like just like the like facial expressions and stuff, and like just being expressive in the images. Like works really well. It's funny because it doesn't have voice acting, but then there's like a post game scenario you can do after you beat it that is anime, and it threw me off at first. It was really funny to me because it was like the like opposite. I was like really amused by that, even though I'm so like I'm more used to that. But then I was like seeing all these like characters that I'm used to being like just real ass people as like anime people, and I'm like, whoa, that's not what they look like. That's weird. And it was really funny to me seeing that suddenly. And then that was what was weird to me. And then that's the only part of the game that does have voice acting for whatever reason. which is kind of weird because I feel like it would make more sense to have it with the live action stuff, but it works. It's whatever. But yeah.
Cool,
It's
dude.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's pretty good. Highly recommend it.
Is that it?
And it's new too. It came out. It,
We said it was a Wii game.
But it's newly localized. It was localized for the first ever time, just this September. But it's like a 10-year-old game in Japan. But it just came out in America for the first time. It's cool.
Word.
Grab it up, Yankees.
Yeah, I haven't heard enough people talking about this game. It makes me sad because I really like it.
Okay.
I think it deserves more love and attention.
Is that it?
Yeah, I don't really have much more to say.
All right.
Moving
on. Jré, what did you bring this?
What I'm bringing is it's a real new. It came out last week. I am taking a look at the newest issue of Wonder Woman, which I usually wouldn't do this unless it's an important issue.
Which issue was it? Just to clarify.
Wonder Woman issue 58. I usually wouldn't talk about like a singular issue here, but it's kind of important because Wonder Woman has changed. This is the first. This is a change in the writer. Wonder Woman. I'd been reading it for since the 2016 DC Rebirth until
You've been a big fan of that run, haven't you?
Yeah, the Greg Rucka run on I loved. It's probably in my top 5 comics of all time. Then Greg Rucka left somewhat more early than was expected, and then I started hating it. I thought both of the new writers, I gave them both a shot. Neither impressed me. And it felt like they were trying to undo a lot of the stuff that Greg was going for. Or also giving Wonder Woman a brother is a idea that
you told me about that and he sucked.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's brother is a pointless idea. Yes, Wonder Woman. The previous Wonder Woman run, they gave Wonder Woman a dumb douchebag brother.
Is this like part of the like demigod backstory?
Yes.
Okay.
Which was kind of Greg Rucka kind of retconned, but no, apparently. Wonder Woman's back to. They turned Wonder Woman immediately back into something that I was entirely against, but she's a demigod now again, so I had to kind of accept that this like new writer hasn't changed this. The new writer is very important because it's G. Willow Wilson, who, if you don't know, she's the person who created Kamala Khan Miss Marvel.
What's her name?
G. Willow Wilson.
Oh yeah, I saw
the name.
I listened to a radio interview a year or two ago. It's interesting.
You listen to the radio, bro?
It's like it's not like a lot, but like,
bro, you're only a year older than
I was like going to school and like fucking like my family listens to NPR a lot, and she was like on.
All right. It's sus as shit, a millennial listening to the radio.
I mean,
don't
now
listen
that
to
you're
the
in
radio.
the car.
All right. Alright, I won't get you too much on it. But G. Willow
We'll let it slide.
First time she's writing for DC in a long time. She's still writing Miss Marvel. She's just working for both companies at the moment. And
what a fucking player.
Yeah, and
I just stopped myself for a minute. I was gonna say something else.
Yeah. And I was really excited because I love Gia Willis, and I think she's the best female writer out of both the big two right now.
Mm-hmm.
And her for writing Wonder Woman is kind of a dream, and they have really nice covers by Rachel Dawson, and Clay Nord is doing the interior art, and I wasn't too familiar with his work until this was announced, and it's great. So I was real excited with this issue. Picked it up. and read it, and it's very interesting. Basically, the story that they're setting up is start off at Paradise Island, Themyscira. Hippolyta, Wonder Woman's mother, is kind of going into some like ancient tombs of Themyscira, and this is a callback to the Greg Rucka one, which I loved. Ares, the god of war, has been imprisoned, is in self-imprisonment under Themyscira.
Self-imprisonment, so he put himself there.
Yes, he's remorse. I don't remember exactly why. It's been nearly 2 years since since I read that story, but he's there, and also Wonder Woman's sister Grail is also there. Grail was introduced in the Dark Side War. It was like the last big event before DC Rebirth. Earth. She's another one of Wonder Woman's kind of like demigod siblings, which is. But
I vaguely remember this.
She's the daughter of Darkseid and Hippolyta, or something like that. Not Hippolyta, another Themyscirian. And she also kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But she was written well here, and basically Ares is just kind of like doing like the old man thing where he's just constantly talking of all these stories to Grail, and she's like tired of it. And then Ares kind of goes off on like another tirade about how what lasts and what his former values and how he perceives war and how that's changed, and like that he used to believe that war was kind of eternal and like everlasting and what would go down in history, but that isn't what it is. It's justice. And then he lunges at Grail, and Grail kills him. So Grail's killed Ares, which he thanks her for, and then that's kind of the end of that.
Dude's got issues. Dude's got issues.
Yeah, and then we start seeing like Themyscira start like hit it, like an earthquake hit it.
Ooh. And
then we cut over to Wonder Woman, who is living with Steve Trevor, and they have like a nice relationship. Trevor's going out on some kind of mission. They have really fun banter. G. Wilson's really great at capturing like friendships and relationships really well, and she brings like she characterizes Diana in a really like fun way here, which is something I felt like the last writers really failed at. But it turns out like what's happening is Wonder Woman having like a nightmare. She wakes up. Steve Trevor's already gone on some kind of mission. She gets a call from Etta Candy, her like government contact, who's also her like best friend, and she says that Steve Trevor is in it's another one of DC's like fake nations that's constantly in civil war.
Yeah.
That Steve's been like gone missing, and Wonder Woman's immediately like on the way there, even though she tells her not to. There's a bunch of the book kind of gets a little political, saying that the U.S. is backing this kind of corrupt nation that's under civil war,
as we tend to do.
Yeah. And Ed is constantly telling Wonder Woman not to get involved because of this like kind of treaty that the U.S. and they have. Wonder Woman refuses, basically disregards that whole thing. And ends up saving like this boy from like these what turned out to be like military enforcers of this corrupt nation who are going to shoot this kid. Wonder Woman. That's when I'm sorry, I got things mixed up. He beats up these two guys, and then she goes and talks with Etta. As she's talking with Etta, we figure out that this boy's kind of leading this troop of like a Pegasus, a Minotaur, and a troll.
Ooh,
And that they have been displaced.
going a little fantasy up in here.
Yeah, they've been displaced from Olympus, and that they're just kind of following this kid around, and the kid's trying to hide them.
Just a random kid?
Yeah, they're real upset about it. Like they're just like, why are we following this kid? And the Minotaur's like, we don't really know what we're doing here. We don't really know like what the place is. So we follow him until something better shows up. And Wonder Woman's just kind of going off on these troops. She's fighting all these like corrupt troops after she's done talking with Etta, trying to look for Steve. These troops say that they're working with that. They're basically working for a force of justice.
Mm-hmm.
And Wonder Woman finds their kind of like leader, and it's Steve Trevor, but it's clear that Ares has taken over his body, has like reincarnated himself inside of Steve Trevor.
That's all.
But Ares wants to work and enforce justice with Wonder Woman, and that's where we leave off like the issue.
Oh, okay.
So this is a real interesting setup.
Basically, Ares just had like a heel turn and a babyface turn at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a real interesting.
That's a great angle.
Yeah, we don't. Assumingly, Olympus is. So there's some parts of Olympus that are merging with the world proper. We don't know what's going on with Themyscira since the last time we saw it. It was under this like massive earthquake. And Wonder Woman's love interest has been possessed.
Whew.
So I'm really excited. I've been falling out of reading comics weekly. It's just been harder for me to keep up, but I'm definitely going to try and stick with this for as long as I can. And G. Wilson really has like a handle on dialogue and plot, and it's returning Wonder Woman to her political roots, which is always something that I look forward to, since that's kind of a lot of the reasons the character was created. The artwork here is really slick and professional looking. It has kind of this. It's a really nice blend of kind of like older matted, like pre-digital coloring, like comic art, and kind of taking advantage of like the digital like pencil work that you can do. Panels are really strongly like framed. And I think this is Wonder Woman. What I really liked about Greg Rucka's run, that it made the Wonder Woman book feel as important and as on the same level quality wise as Superman, Batman, all the higher tier DC heroes, which it usually isn't, since DC doesn't think it's worth putting their.
They don't invest a lot in it.
Yeah. But putting a name like G. Will, our team, as good as this, and being able to play with like some pretty important characters, Grail's become rather important in the DCU, and finally being able to bring back Ares in some kind of way. If Wonder Woman feels important again, and unlike it before, I'm just real excited for this new run. I definitely think everyone should pick it up. Also, how it's DC, so it's cheaper. It's only like $4 less with Comixology Unlimited.
Can I read it if I haven't read anything Wonder Woman before?
I'd say yeah, as long as you just read. It is issue 58, so there is going to be some stuff that is going to confuse you, that they're not going to explain. But I think it's all the important stuff is pretty like understandable, and I think you can catch up real real quick on it.
Okay.
You can get yourself caught up just with like a little like noggin of your jogging.
I might do that.
Jogging of your noggin.
Your noggin, yeah.
You got it backwards, my guy.
I did.
Noggin of your jogging.
Noggin of your jogging.
Get the jogging noggin.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I want to say. Go and pick up this run. It's real good. I hope G. Wilson stays on this book for a long time.
All right, is it me?
No, we're just canceling the show without you.
Okay. Oh, fuck. Have I been fired from the show?
Yeah, the show that you host.
You
The
didn't
show that I
know?
host? Scott, you host the show now.
Oh, epic. Carroll, your turn.
Oh, thanks. So I've been on a kind of a big Walking Dead binge recently. Started off because I watched a Let's Play. I've been watching a Let's Play of the Walking Dead games, the Telltale ones, and I always told myself I was going to buy them eventually, and I never did. But eventually, I was like, well, company's out of business now, might as well. I felt a little bad because I'm really late to the party. But I did. I bought the first three seasons of the Walking Dead Telltale, and I played them all. I can't get the first 2 episodes of season 4, the final season, because they've been taken off of the Xbox store and everywhere else.
Yeah,
Anymore.
Yeah.
So I'll play those when they go. But yeah, I decided to do that. And after that, I was sort of in a Walking Dead mood. So I caught up to date with.
You can say dead mood. It's cool.
Yeah, I was kind of in a dead mood. So I caught up to date with the Walking Dead, the show. And I think I saw like the first 2 seasons, and I'm into season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead, which isn't very good. Except when it is occasionally, but most of the time it's not. Sorry. At least like the first couple seasons that I've seen.
It'd be like that with things. Sometimes they're good, except for or sometimes they're bad, except for when they're good, and then they're good. But then sometimes they'll just go back to being bad, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some parts of it are interesting, but some parts are really not interesting. But basically what I want to talk about is because the thing I've noticed is The Walking Dead is the Walking Dead universe, or the WDTCU.
Huh?
The Deadiverse.
The Walking Dead television cinematic universe.
Isn't it?
No, it's the televised universe.
Televised?
Aren't they making movies?
The Walking Dead multimedia universe?
Who the fuck?
I hate
regret this bit immediately.
This shouldn't be a thing.
Does that include Tekken?
It does include Tekken.
It does not.
Yes, it does, because it's Negan from the TV show.
No,
if
I
Heihachi
refuse.
shows up in the Walking Dead show, I'm rewatching all of it.
I think I do the opposite.
If Heihachi shows up, Heihachi and Akuma show up in the show, and then they Heihachi. I forget any of Heihachi's what they're called. If he just iron fist punches a walker's head off, I'm rewatching the whole show from episode 1 up to that episode.
And then nothing else?
I'm saying it here, and I mean that.
Oh, they should. They really should.
Do it, Kirkman.
Anyway, basically, yeah. Speaking of, that, the Walking Dead, I forget what his name is. The showrunner for The Walking Dead, has left that role of managing the show, and has now been promoted to Emperor of the Walking Dead TV universe. Where basically he controls everything now. He controls all the new projects, this whole thing with Rick, which I'll get to. I think that's sort of his brainchild.
Oh.
But yeah, the big sort of new thing is that spoiler alert, Rick left The Walking Dead. They killed him, except they didn't. Except they did, but they very much didn't.
Okay, so you're going to have to explain. So
Spoilers,
The Walking Dead.
I know it came out just this month, but fuck you, fight me. I don't care. So basically, what happened is in episode 5 of season 9, titled, I believe it is, "What Comes After." Basically,
What
what?
What do?
What do
Sorry.
come after?
A big time jump, a big time skip, and then not a lot of interesting things. So basically, the whole gimmick is that the whole episode is about Rick, like, well, in the episode before this one, episode 4, he gets injured in the stupidest way possible. So basically, he's riding a horse away from a bunch of. I hate you, Jré. He's riding a horse.
You just posted an image of Noctis about to get got from behind by Negan
I hate you. I'll put it up. I hate you so
in the
much.
video.
Yeah.
Negan's gonna Glenn Noctis.
I just that face.
He's gonna Glenn him.
He's gonna Glenn him.
Glenn a verb.
Why? Noctis is about to get Glenned.
He's gonna get Glenn. You all are bastards. Rip Glenn. But
It wasn't. He didn't get ripped. He got bashed in.
I hate you.
All right, I'll stop.
Yeah, you're being a little epic, Dre.
Yeah. So fuck me. Where the fuck was I? You really threw me off there.
He was riding a horse.
He was riding a horse, right? He was riding a horse away from a bunch of zombies. And he got separated from his group for no good reason. And then the horse. Can I just say, this horse is like the ultimate heel, the ultimate villain of The Walking Dead. Like, better than Negan, better than the governor, better than fucking zombies, right?
Do they have zombie horses?
No.
That sucks.
It does. It really does. So the horse kicks off Rick, and he falls onto just some rebar that's just laying there, and it impales him in the side, and then that's like the game, and then like all the zombies are closing in on him. Is this how Rick dies? End of episode. But then he MacGyvers his way out of that situation, climbs back on the horse, and then like rides away. And then the whole episode is him like coming to terms with dying. Like there's a bunch of flashbacks. One of them is to the first one is to Shane, John Bernthal. Which good to see John Bernthal in things. Because I love him. He's great. And he's really good in. He was really good in The Walking Dead. And it was like a flashback to like the first scene where they're just like hanging out and talking in the car.
Oh yeah.
And they're just being very friendly, but like Rick's all like bloody.
That was the same show, huh?
Yeah.
Like it's weird thinking about early Walking Dead and Carroll. Like this is the same show.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but it was a flashback to that, and it was like it was really, really good. Then they did something to they fleshed over he was talking to Herschel. And I believe didn't the actor Herschel's actor I'm sorry.
He just passed.
He just died, didn't he? Yeah.
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 Yeah, I remember hearing about that. That's real sad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything about his personality, but he was really nice as Herschel. Herschel was a nice man, and I would like to believe that he was too.
Yeah.
I don't even know his name.
I'll look it up.
He's just the guy who played Herschel.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So it's like there's a really good talk. And then after that, he goes on for. Then like the last one is really fun because he talks to Sasha. And
you're gonna have to remind me who Sasha is. I forgot. Oh my god! No, never mind.
I remember Sasha as well.
You don't?
I do. I remember.
I do. I do now. I'm sorry.
Didn't she like do a weird suicide thing?
Yeah, she did. She took a cyanide. She basically took a cyanide tablet. died in like the most legendary way possible. It was
Yeah, I
pretty
remember thinking it was kind of epic, but I don't remember actually why she did that.
Yeah, well, she was being like captured, and she was going to be used as a bargain against Rick, and then so her zombie bird. Basically, she got put in a coffin, and then she took like a cyanide tablet, and then so when Negan opened it up, the zombie jumped out and bit him, and it was great.
Yeah, that was epic.
It was pretty epic. But anyway, he talks to her, and that flashback takes place on it shows like the body, like a giant like mound of bodies, and it's basically everyone who's died in the show. Like they couldn't get all the actors back, but they showed like Maggie's sister.
Oh yeah, Beth.
Beth. They showed like a backward shot of like Beth's corpse, and it fucked me up. Basically they were standing, and basically they were like. Rick's like, everyone's dead. How is this okay? And Sasha's like, it's all right. Doesn't really matter. Because we're still alive, but we're dead, but we're not. It didn't make a lot of sense. But
yeah, that because you killed the Walker for a lot of those people.
Yeah.
I would think most, if not all of them. I did die again, like the second time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, huh?
It was weird. But anyway, so basically, in the episodes leading up to this, basically, because the Rick's or Negan's group, the Saviors, had been like Negan. They stopped Negan, and so like the Saviors to like fend for themselves, but Rick decided to sort of take care of them and like build them up as like a community, as a part of like their group, because like there's the Kingdom, the Hilltop. Oceanside, Alexandria, and the Sanctuary, which is the Negan's people.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but like no one trusted Negan's people because and so they were like forcing them to sort of work on this bridge to help. Like, there's like this big bridge over this like water that's like a big important plot point because that bridge is like important for connecting the groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, but then like there's like a herd of zombies that are coming in, and so walkers, bleh. And then but then like Rick and because he's been the one that's been like super advocating for this fucking bridge, right? He's like giving up so much, and then right before he dies, basically in order to stop these zombies from like crossing over to the other side and to like stop the herd, what he does is he shoots a bunch of dynamite that's just conveniently sitting on the bridge. It blows up, and he quote unquote dies in one of the most preventable ways possible.
Yeah, what? So he blows up.
He blows up and kills a bunch of these zombies. One of the other characters, Jadis, had been going through some weird shit.
From the trash people?
Yeah, the trash. Yeah, she became like a normal person. She was still kind
like
of
a human being?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Good for her.
She joined Rick's group for a little bit.
Good for her. I'm glad she's finally become.
Like she speaks in full sentences.
Yeah, that's cool. Proud of her.
But then she like tried to escape, and then anyway, basically Rick washes up next to her as she's making her escape conveniently because he survived but got into the water. And he just washes up next to Jadis and basically like, I guess I'll take you with me, and then they both fly off in a helicopter, and that's it.
Oh, that's not dead.
Yeah, he's not dead. He's very much alive. And
but
so
everybody else thinks he's dead.
After that, they time jumped to. They time skipped like several years later, where like Carroll and Michonne now have. Well, Carroll has like long hair now, and Michonne has like longer dreads and like.
Yeah, I saw Carroll with long hair. It felt weird.
Yeah. Wait, what? I mean, I've always had pretty long hair. Every time.
I knew something was coming because as I was saying it, it felt like off. I could feel that I was saying something weird.
Yeah, I had to sneak one in there. There aren't a lot of perks to being named Carroll, but that's one of them. But anyway, yeah, Walking Dead is sort of in a weird place right now where they're like trying some big things, and I'm like a very non-invested Walking Dead fan. But like, I'm gonna keep trying because this is interesting, and like, I'm watching the show. I'm watching the show week to week for the first time because before I was just like, I'm just gonna watch it all on Netflix, right? I'll wait for the season to go on Netflix, binge it, and then I'll stop. You know?
Yeah, that's how I used to do it, and then I just like it got too uninteresting.
See,
So
I just pirated them after I caught up to where Netflix was.
Like I just couldn't like.
You know, you don't have to do that. Like it's all on. It's all.
I don't
like,
have cable.
You have cable. Oh, you don't have cable?
No.
Oh, rip
You
you.
think I am? Rip you.
Yeah, you have cable and you listen to the radio. Come on, are you even?
Am I even a millennial?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, just kidding about the piracy thing. We here at GBG do not condone any yar-harring of any kind. That was just a joke.
Yeah, don't pirate kids.
Especially you wouldn't download a kid. Don't pirate kids.
Don't pirate.
Yeah. I would never. No, never.
Anyway, Walking Dead is interesting right now, so check it out. Unless you don't like it, in which case don't. Let's end this fucking show, please.
Robert Kirkman's a hack. Bye.
Okay, good. Yeah, you're kind of right. That's it for this episode of the Geeks. Thank you so much for listening. Special thanks to our producers, Jré, Best, and Ronnie Diaz for making the show possible. And a super special thank you to Scott Heemstra for coming on this show, especially on such short notice. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you to Guthrie Schooner, our lead editor on the show. And thank you to Jack Wertimer for helping design the thumbnail. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and leave a comment, follow us on Twitter, and join our Discord. The link will be in the description below. And be sure to keep it locked right here for brand new episodes every single month. But until then, take it easy, nerds.